Mr. Andrew Holness, the whole world I watch you, not only Jamaicans. The people of the world, the other countries, the other continents, all eyes are on you right now. So it's either you go rise to the occasion or you go flop. Right now you get a long rope for hang yourself. Because listen me, people them watch the money them where you collect. The people them watch the plans them where you implement. And as a great leader, we not say you do nothing much all now. So make we see what I go on. Me tell my friend them, me I give you time. So what you are do? Make sure so the time where you use for gather your thoughts and everything where you plan, make sure that it is worthwhile. But first thing you need to do is clear the roads and get these people off the street that are homeless. Find shelters, create shelters and put them in there. Have a blessed day, Mr. Bro God. Big up yourself and stay God up every time.
The members of parliament will be called upon to play a critical role. There is a sense, Madam Speaker, that I've heard being bandied about that some members of parliament were not integrated into the operations, or that there was some kind of favoritism where some constituencies got and others didn't get. Madam Speaker, let me stand here and say that there was never any intention or action on this government designed to marginalize, discriminate, isolate, alienate any member of parliament. And we must dismiss out of hand any argument that would seek to divide this country politically when it comes to the distribution of aid. As far as I'm concerned, every Jamaican is entitled to the aid that comes in and to the spending of the government. There will be no politicization of aid. It never happened in COVID, it never happened in Beryl, and it will not happen. Madam Speaker, I can point out to you that the member from Eastern Westmoreland made his public comments. I saw them. I reached out to the leader of the opposition. I recognized your pain in what you said. I saw your public comments. I recognized the pain in what you said, and I asked the member from Southeast Clarendon, the Minister of Labour and Social Security, to reach out to you. It is only a matter of logistics why I was not able to land in Darliston or in White House. My friend, if the helicopters could have landed me there, I would have landed there, and I would have been by your side if I could find you. There was no attempt whatsoever. And the suffering of Jamaicans in your constituency, the suffering of Jamaicans in the constituency of North West St. Elizabeth is of concern. There are constituencies over here that we have not reached. Southern Trelawney, we haven't reached. Northwestern St. Elizabeth, we haven't reached. So all I'm saying, Madam Speaker, and to Jamaica, I must stand up firmly and close the door on any attempt to politicize aid in Jamaica. So in the cleanup, Madam Speaker, in the cleanup, where we are going to need the MPs to be active, we are going to need the MPs to be active in mobilization, because we won't have enough people to send into communities to clean up. It will have to be the community's leader of the opposition that do the cleanup. You have to mobilize the people. But it is also an opportunity for communities that have not had a chance to earn anything. We're going to try to put together a little stipend. Let me say it's a little stipend. It's not a pay.
P.J. Patterson, Percival James Patterson, Jamaica's 6th Prime Minister between 1992 to 2006, is commending Dr. Andrew Michael Holness, Jamaica's 9th Prime Minister, for the work that he's doing amid the wrath of Hurricane Melissa on Jamaica. So somehow the dunce PNP will continue to drag and pull the Prime Minister online and continue to say negative things about the Prime Minister online. Take a page out of the former president of the PNP's book. Take a page out of it. Read the article so that you can see the difference with governing and governance, and you can understand as a government how it is that we lead. If you took the time to read the article, then you'd have a different perspective on government and leave the Prime Minister alone. Economic recovery is not an insensitivity to human suffering. Take a listen to the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. Andrew Michael Holness.
That economic recovery is not an insensitivity to human suffering. Economic recovery, it is the way in which we bring human suffering to an end early. And those persons who are opposed to us going back to school and going back to work, get that out of your mind. Get the economy up and running right away. That is the only way we are going to be able to fund the recovery quickly. And I urge all Jamaicans to get that mindset in. For the half of Jamaica that has not been affected, your productivity will have to increase right away.
Get that out of your mind. Get that out of your mind. The economy must go on. Schools must reopen. Get that out of your mind. All right.
We're not asking because we are greedy. We're asking because the collaboration and the coordination on the ground is not reaching our people in South St. James. When I'm able to bring 2 bags of food like I did last night to the school at Malden High, they were not able to make breakfast this morning because it could only last 1 day. I'm asking you to help us to airlift some food into the communities, to get the sick people out of the homes and into the hospital. We have some pregnant mothers. We were able to get to the hospital at Cornwall Regional just yesterday. Her baby was not moving anymore in her belly, right? We have an urgent need in South St. James, and I know everybody is trying. All I'm asking is don't forget South St. James in all of this, because we are proud farmers and we want to get back with our lives, but we need the donations to come to us too. We don't want to stay left behind because we're deep rural.
Where did wisdom?
What is it? What's blocking?
You see, the other day, I was saying to myself that people praise material things so much. And today is a day when everybody asks me, all right, me have life. Everybody appreciate life. At this moment, no big house no mean nothing, no big car no mean nothing, no land no mean nothing. Life is everything right now. Everybody, all right, boy, me lose my house, but me have life. We have life. My house, me lose my shop, me lose everything, but me have life. And that we say, togetherness and life, nothing with vanity. Anybody want brag and boast now, what them all brag about? Homelessness. Rich and poor, we homeless. All are we homeless.
Rich and poor,
yeah. All my life, me never know. Movie alone, me ever see them sitting here and I never see. Who signed up that script here? No, who put in a script we don't know about in a real life?
When I tell you that PNP is going to be in the opposition until thine kingdom come, believe there is no way in hell that the country is reeling from a category 5 hurricane. Melissa literally obliterated the parishes in the west. Whole communities have been wiped out. They're still finding bodies upon bodies. The people are living in deplorable conditions. I don't think that the country even rests. And I'm talking about the entirety of the country. Whether those who have been affected or not, people's mental health, seeing what has happened to these parishes, because people have family member down there and all of these things. The country's mental health is literally shot. Right? Everybody's pooling resources, sending down to these parishes. But yet, you would think that, you know, it should be about unity. All hands on deck, boots on ground. But no, no, that is too much to ask the PNP, because all they see is politics, divisiveness. It's crazy. There's no way. You people are disgusting. Disgusting. And I was appalled at that press conference. There's no way that you guys, that people actually vote for, finding a time for go on press conference, right? For criticize, degrade, so divisiveness, ball crocodile tears, when you should be in these constituencies helping the people, them helping your people, the people that voted for you. All of this posturing, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. You are not the government. And while I can understand that there are some instances where it might seem as if things are moving a little bit too slow, what are you doing? What are you doing for your community? Why is it only the PNP MP them have a problem down there? Why una alone have a problem? Everybody else is boots to ground. And don't even get me started on the fact that Mark Golding was MIA and then choose to pop up 2 days after for walk around and give him criticisms. As usual, I knew he was gonna do that. I knew. He went silent. He went radio silent. Literally 2 days before the storm, you could not see him doing any walks. Big up Swaby. Big up Mayor Swaby. At least I saw him making his rounds, right? But he was MIA, radio silence, and then popped up. And y'all are finding time to do this egregious press conference to do what? To appeal to who? The election is over. It's done. You lost. Stop using the storm and the destruction of the western parishes as a political ploy, as a political football. The majority of Jamaica is tired of your antics. It's disgusting behavior. And Miss Lady, the Queen of the South, she ball crocodile tears. What are you doing for your constituency if other MPs can do it? What is the problem? And the Zulika just lady, the MP that lost to you, he used his equipment to clear roads. What are you doing? What are you doing? The time on a fine for do press conference, only need for pack it up and go on a constituency and try and say only can help people and appeal to people, appeal to links them for come down there and help. And not only that, right? The audacity, and for sure I said the bad mindism, the bitterness runs so deep. The government has set up an official link for all donations to pour in, right? And you guys have not shared it once. Not once, but we're gonna set up a platform to collect donations to those who have a preference for what? You guys shouldn't even be entertaining that level of foolishness. People are living in deplorable conditions in these parishes right now. Them not think about green or orange. They've lost homes, they've lost families, their way of life is gone. They're not thinking about politics right now. So how are you going to entertain an argument about, your donors have a preference? A preference for what? What exactly? Pack it up. Pack it up. Pack it up. This is nasty behavior. Nasty, disgusting behavior. And on top of that, the audacity, right, that these Orange Rangers have talking about, the government took a thief the money. Y'all stole your own campaign funds. Una thief on own campaign money. So how are you going to have the audacity to cast aspersion, cast all sorts of foolishness on the government? Una thief on own campaign money. You don't have the moral authority to speak on certain issues. You don't. Pack it up. You cannot run a government within a government, and that is what PNP is trying to do. And everybody is seeing it for what it is, and everybody is rightfully disgusted. We don't want soon upon was screen. A waste was screen time. Go in your constituencies and do the work that you are being paid to do. Pack it up, man. Disgusting sets of people.
But it seems like Dr. Holness, you're one of the most bad lucky leaders / prime minister in the world.
Me hungry, me thirsty, me no water.
You have won the 3rd term, so now you're in the legacy mode to build your legacy as one of the greatest prime minister in Jamaica. And out of the blue, you get punched in the face with a category 5 hurricane.
Oh my God.
Right after you won your 3rd term.
I'm grateful to you, the people of Jamaica.
This doesn't make sense, Dr. Holness. Nothing can go so. Because now you have financial elbow room because you pay off the debt. The debt collector, IMF, has had the noose on your neck. And now you're basically getting free from that noose.
We have stabilized the ship.
So now Jamaica can develop itself. And it seemed like you unlucky.
No!
And also it seemed like black people can't catch a break.
We cut poverty in half, cut murders and crime in half to 30-year lows.
It seems like God is against you / us. Or, Dr. Holness, somebody want to bury you. It doesn't make any sense.
They finally made it to Jamaica. They've been searching for this loophole for years. A window of opportunity to go into Jamaica with U.S. military presence. And you may say what you want to say. They're there to help. That's good. The ultimate thing is not to help the people of Jamaica. It's to push China out of Jamaica.
Because you're at a pivotal point for you to turn around Jamaica and make it, as you said, the Singapore of the Caribbean.
Jamaica is going to become the Singapore of the Western Hemisphere, without question.
You've lowered the murder rate in Jamaica. You've also lowered the debt to GDP ratio.
The vision of this government in this next chapter is to spur economic growth. Growth that lifts every household across the length and breadth of Jamaica out of absolute poverty.
You lowered the debt payment to the IMF and other institutions. And now you said that Jamaica is gaining dividends.
Sustained economic growth will end absolute poverty in Jamaica. We can and we will end absolute poverty in Jamaica.
Jamaica now has more money for infrastructure development, and also their credit rating has improved.
Our people are too talented, our culture too rich, our geography too strategic, and our history too proud for us to stop short of greatness.
Dr. Hollis, I would not want to be in your position, because if it is the act of nature or the act of man, you're going to have to deal with it. And I would not want to be in your position, because this is one of the biggest devastation Jamaica has ever experienced. May God strengthen you and give you wisdom as you lead this recovery mission.
Bless the Prime Minister Andrew Hollis, yes, and thank him for this package of food here. Respect him, love him. And
can you imagine in a time like this where Jamaica is trying to recover from one of the most devastating natural disasters to ever hit the island? People are out here plotting and scheming. Last night, my father called me and asked me about the hurricane relief grant that everybody was supposed to get. I said, Daddy, what are you talking about? It was a hurricane relief grant because everybody has sent him message and saying forget send him, I wonder how he must go about it. I said, Daddy, that is not real. I don't know what he was talking about, but from my ear him say it, I said, Daddy, that is not real. He kept insisting. I said, forward the message where everybody has sent him at my seat, and him forward it to me. This is the message. Granted, multiple people have sent him this. How are you gonna send around something like this and say you will receive $20,000 immediately? And then down on the bottom it says, I got mine. So it's kind of like giving the illusion that the person type and so them get for them one already. As I said, multiple people sent my father this message across different age groups. Now, after taking certain precautionary measures, I clicked on the link just for the video. And this is what it's showing. Now you see down at the bottom where it has some fake social media comments to make it seem as if people are interacting and saying they got theirs. It's showing 1 minute ago, 2 minutes ago. It is not real. If you see this message coming around to you in WhatsApp, in a reel, ignore it, stop sharing it. If you have elderly parents, like myself here, make sure you tell them say nothing no go so. It's the first time when my parents don't understand something and then come ask me about it, and I'm glad. I'm glad them never understand. Because can you imagine? Now, I assume, I didn't go any further, but I assume that, on the other pages, I think when you swipe, it would ask you for, your banking information and, ID and stuff like that. In a time like this where the government is under immense pressure, you cannot afford for your information to become vulnerable and exposed. Things like your ID, your TRN, your NIS. There are people in other parishes right now who have lost birth certificates, passports, and IDs. You make sure say you stay vigilant. Do not click upon a link. Do not scan the QR code. Anything like this would have been announced on a national level. Now, for your parents, them or whoever elderly, if you don't know, and for some of the young ones were naive, please ensure that any information that you get is coming from reputable sources only. Follow the Gleaner, follow the Star, follow CVM, TVJ, JIS, Nationwide, and even the member of parliaments. You can follow their personal pages as well to see any information that they're giving out. Any information where you get, make sure say is not hearsay. Now is not the time for that. Anywhere disaster strikes, crime will be there. Crime and disaster are best friend. Whenever civilization has been attacked, crime is going to be right there. Because criminal are ready to take advantage of the people who are vulnerable. And right now, everybody is desperate. even though the eastern side of the island wasn't affected that bad, a lot of us have family in the west. Now, Westmoreland, Hanover, Montego Bay, St. Elizabeth, some parts of Clarendon and St. Anne were also affected. You understand? Me personally, some of our family, we couldn't hear from them, and family that for go down there for make sure so them alive and alright. However, even though we here in the east of the island may not have been affected physically, we've been affected mentally and some even spiritually. Do not add on to that burden and make it financially. Please take heed. Please take heed. Stay blessed and stay vigilant.
Gone.
Yeah.
Those slip up for over them paying us a whole long time ago, those gone. We did that with the pin there, so we have to hold him.
So,
under the mattress, so we hold on the mattress over our head.
and that was
not chop off with them.
And that was what time in the day?
Blood clot, that about after what? After 12 then time.
12 p.m.
And we did it. Because them say wait till the eye pass. You see, we didn't ever stop till the eye pass.
Yeah.
And then we blood clot, then we have to run out to the stand with the broken.
Yeah.
You see shelter, no door, no window.
The shelter them fuck up there.
No, we're not there for nobody. If I to man get washed up, go see. I yesterday morning we find her. Man in a car, dead. Man, house dropped down on them dead. And God bless you, we not find it.
Yeah, so it way worse than one think people.
Good stuff. So I'm recommending to you, Prime Minister, asking you, would it be possible for every constituency that is affected, for the Ministry of Labour, whoever it is, for us to get some temporary labor to go around and do this assessment? That's 2. 3 is the shelters. And I speak about the shelter in Townhead and other shelters. There's no bed. There's no food. Persons are sleeping on the concrete. And I'm just wondering if we could pay some more attention to Westmoreland. I don't want to say everything here because the international press is here. So, and you don't hear everything out to the public. But Prime Minister, I'm willing to have a conversation in terms of where we go from here, in terms of how do we help our people. In terms of when you speak to tourism, we have thousands of workers now that are without a job in the tourism sector. The leader of the opposition mentioned some level of compensation for tourism workers. But a couple of weeks ago, the Minister of Tourism came here and he said that under the IDB, there was $1 billion for small hotels to refurbish. And I want to ask the Prime Minister, could a part of that $1 billion be used for grant funding in terms of ensuring that the hotels in the constituency, the workers within the constituency, something can be worked out where between the workers and the hotel, the tourism sector, both work hand in hand in ensuring that we can get up running pretty soon.
Minister, billions of dollars are going to be coming in terms of relief. Why have we not yet heard the announcement of an independent oversight committee to include, for instance, private sector, civil society, and opposition members to monitor the expenditure that is going to be done along with regular reporting to Parliament? What we don't want is an Auditor General's report 6 months after the fact. Second, I've been hearing everything that's been said. However, the national response, the immediate national response, has been slow and inadequate. The government has been acting as if it didn't know the kind of damage that a Cat 5 would have done. Why have we not seen immediate deployments of mass aid to the affected communities, along with things like immediate erection of warehouses to hold such aid, immediate erection of mass shelters and or evacuations? And then finally, for now, why had we not seen an equivalent in-time response to Westmoreland as there was to St. Elizabeth, seeing that that was where the eye of the hurricane made landfall? So it was obvious that there would also have been catastrophic damage there.
And I don't think people understand, but the real hero in this situation is actually Nigel Clark. Dr. Nigel Clark is actually the real hero in this situation. Like I don't think people understand. We are getting relief and we're getting help from other countries, which is really, really good. But aside from that, the real hero in this situation is Dr. Nigel Clark. Him have the doctorate upon him name for a reason. Now, Jamaica sits right in the middle of the Caribbean Sea, right? Which means say any hurricane will come, chances are we're going to get a direct hit of it. Under Nigel Clark, or under the Andrew Holness administration, Jamaica took out a cat bond, which is a category, the cyclones, the tropical cyclones, the hurricanes, all of those things, of $185 million US insurance. And that covers up to 3 hurricanes. So for 3 years, Jamaica was insured, and then we got another cat bond as well of $150 million US, right? Because Jamaica is a hurricane prone area, right? So therefore, chances are they might go decrease it, because almost every year we get hit by a hurricane. But what I'm saying is at least we get some relief. Mighty God, thank God. Thank God we finally choose a party. Thank God we finally choose Jamaica. Thank God. Because boy, me no know. Like me feel, boy, me no know. Them ask me for go down a Mandeville. Me no want go. I can't manage for take on that stress. Me send the supplies, but me can't go. Me can't face that. But me just thank God so we did have some leaders, and then not only that, Nigel Clark is I'm gonna always say, look here, if we need more assistance, that's one for have friends in high places, right? Because at least we have someone in our corner to defend us if something goes wrong. If we need more assistance, Nigel Clark can say, here, we can loan you this up to this amount, probably interest free, right? And it's just a reality. Nothing wrong with taking out loan, Nothing is wrong with taking out loans. But boy, may I tell you God ever true. I'm glad, boy, I miss Nigel. I go through a lot right now. I just miss him.
Wagwan. So what's up, beautiful and amazing souls? Guys, in today's video, we are going to talk about Jamaicans' reaction towards the president's speech while he was in parliament, trying to say that, this is what you are going to do and that. And people were there listening, the MPs were there listening. But in this video, it's just going to be a general reaction of the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, and strictly or specifically Jamaicans reacting or Jamaicans opinions. And guys, of course, in this world, it's really hard to find people like agreeing altogether or disagreeing altogether, because we are born different, or we are born different, and therefore there are those who support, there are those who don't support, there are those whose point of view is kind of positive, others negative. So what's happening in Jamaica right now? Some people are questioning about the aid that has been offered to Jamaicans. They feel like they're politicizing all these issues, and that instead of focusing on helping the Jamaican, instead of really trying to figure out how are they going to bring these people back to normalcy, they are there trying to put politics into the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa and the aid that is coming in. And some Jamaicans are like, okay, you are going to allocate some funds for this emergency, you are going to allocate some emergency funds for helping Jamaicans who are really affected, because at the moment so many Jamaicans cannot afford food, so many Jamaicans don't have a home, so many Jamaicans don't have even clothes. I mean, the basic things or that a human being requires. Jamaicans, most of those that were hit hard, most of these areas that were hit hard, 90% of the people are really affected. But of course, we have other islands that they weren't affected so much, and of course for them they have been just continue supporting the country, the island in your own capacity, just try to build it again, business has to continue. But then our main focus is on those who are really affected, like massively affected, to the point that they lost everything from food, home or shelter, clothing, even the worst case scenario, family members, because the water was just there in the streets, lying there. And guys, I can tell you that Jamaicans are not really playing with this issue. They really, some of them were really eager to see what will the prime minister come and say, what will the prime minister do. And yeah, he came to the parliament and he told people that this is what you have done, that we have allocated some money to help these people, and also those who had mortgage, we are going to hold it for some 6 months there until you're better off, and then you can continue paying. So there were some reliefs here and there. But of course, some were like, no, that's not what you should have done. What we want is transparency, equality, and also ensure that there is a committee that oversees how these funds are going to be spent. We don't want money spent and then after 6 months now you want to form a committee that is going to oversee, was this money really used for its purpose or was it stolen? Because in some situations you will find that politicians, they take advantage of disasters like that, and instead of helping their own people, they siphon the money to their own pocket. Like they will only spend like a quarter of the money or the aid gotten, and then pocket the rest of the money, which is not really nice. And so some Jamaicans came out and told them, we need accountability from the word go. We don't want situations where you are going to spend money and then after 6 months, 1 year, now you are bringing out an accounting report for that. No, we don't want that. And we want you to ensure that Jamaica comes back to normalcy as soon as possible. As a leader, you must always have a budget. You must always have a plan of how to come back from a disaster. And since all of us know that, Jamaica is an island in the middle of an ocean, anything can happen. So emergency funds and budgets must always be there to help us. And we hope that you're going to come back as soon as possible. Otherwise, you're not going to take this lightly, and we are going to believe that you don't really love us. And of course, some have really come out and spoken what they really feel inside their heart, and they're like, when, where are we, where are our leaders? We could see some members of parliament crying so sadly because she's trying to see the situation in Jamaica. It's not really adding up. People are suffering, but we are also glad that Jamaicans abroad and all the people in the world, those who felt touched, they supported Jamaicans in their own capacity, and we are happy. We have seen so many messages to Jamaicans. They're being told, it shall be over. Although this was something else, this category 5 hurricane was something else, because it really caused extreme destruction. Homes were never looked anything close to a home again because it was completely destroyed. You could see sharks in the streets of these towns. I mean, what are sharks doing in the streets of the towns in the island of Jamaica? And all this cuts down to climate change. What's happening in the world. It's what is causing all these things. In Kenya just recently, in Uganda just recently, we had landslide. I mean, these particular landslides, they go down and then they just have to, go through people's homes and, take people down the hill. I mean, it was just something so bad. And if you look at the cause of it, it's just, climate. You know, it's the people cutting down trees and are leaving the soils to be bare, instead of, you know, if you cut one tree, you plant two, you replace it, and you know, the soil will remain compact and we will not have landslides. So that was so sad. But anyway, guys, I thank you if you watched the video up to this point. I appreciate your presence. I love you to the moon and back.